So then we're going to talk about the unit circle, but before we do that, let's review our trig ratios. So remember we have theta here, okay, that's theta. The side opposite is going to be my opposite side. And the side on the same side of it is going to be my adjacent side. And remember the side opposite 90-degree angle is always called my hypotenuse. Okay. Remember our trig function is sine, so it's opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is always opposite over adjacent. And we have our special right triangle that we have to deal with. So you have to know these to be able to move on to our next thing. Now 45, 45, 90, okay? The two sides, I'm going to label them as S, are always the same. The hypotenuse is always S times the square root of 2. And a 30, 60, 90 right triangle, the side opposite 30 is always S. The side opposite 60 is always S square root of 3. The side opposite the hypotenuse, or the hypotenuse I think should say, is always 2 times your S for your side length. Okay, so here's our unit circle. And here's our unit circle. The hypotenuse here is always the length of 1, because our radius is always 1 unit. Okay, we always label this part, this point is our x comma y. This part is going to be my x. The height is always my y value. Okay? In a unit circle, we always have a radius of 1. Okay? And we can use this to determine the values of our trig functions. Trigonometric functions. Okay? The unit circle is always centered at the origin. Point 0, comma 0. Okay. Theta is the angle formed by the positive x-axis in a ray that intersects the unit circle, which we call the terminal side. Okay. The angle measure is always positive if we go counterclockwise on our unit circle, and it's negative if we go clockwise on our unit circle. So if the base of the right triangle is x and the height is y, your repair is always going to be x, comma, y. Okay. The length of the hypotenuse of the unit circle and all triangles inside of it is going to be 1 unit. Okay. Remember, sine is always opposite over hypotenuse. But we notice that the opposite side is y and the hypotenuse is 1, that the sine of all these functions will always be just the y value of our ordered pair. Cosine the same way, it's adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, adjacent side is x, the hypotenuse is 1, and x divided by 1 is just x. So the cosine of all these is always x. So that means that our tangent is always y divided by x. We can use these to find ordered pairs. Okay, so ordered pairs on the unit circle. Okay. We're going to use this to find the sine. So remember the sine is y. The cosine is x. The tangent is y divided by x. So in quadrant 1 of our circle, the y value is always positive. Quadrant 2, it stays positive. Quadrant 3 is negative. Quadrant 4 is negative. The cosine of the x value is always positive in quadrant 1, negative in quadrant 2, negative in quadrant 3, and positive in quadrant 4. And since they're both positive, that's positive. Since one of them is negative, it's negative. Positive and negative for tangent. Alright, so this right here is our unit circle. Okay? You don't have to memorize anything about that. I'm going to tell you exactly how to solve these out and find the values of your ordered pairs. Okay, you use special right triangles to do it. Alright, so it says find the coordinates of the point of intersection of the circle and a 30-degree angle. Okay, 30 means positive, so we always start here at this point, right there. Okay, and since we're going positive 30, we go counterclockwise, so up. Okay, and there's our 30-degree angle. Okay, we're going to bring a right triangle down. So we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay. Remember the 30, 60, 90? The hypotenuse is 2s. The side opposite 30 is s. And the side opposite 60 is x squared root 3. Okay. In the inner circle, though, we know the hypotenuse is 1. Well, 1 is the hypotenuse, so 1 is going to equal 2s. So that means that s is 1/2. Okay. Well, 1/2 s on our unit circle is the side opposite 30. So that means this is 1/2. Here, s times the square root of 3. Well, we know s is 1/2, so it's 1/2 times the square root of 3. So it's going to be the square root of 3 over 2. That's going to be my x value. So, our order pair would be the square root of 3 over 2, x, comma, our hypotenuse 1/2. Same thing on the next one. Always start here. Since we're going negative, we're going to go clockwise, regular clockwise. That's going to form me a 60-degree angle. Here's my right triangle. And we just did a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. Okay? We know the hypotenuse is 1, so 1 is going to equal 2s, because the hypotenuse still is 2s on the 30, 60, 90. So that means s is going to be 1/2. Okay, s is always the side opposite 30, so that's going to be 1/2 there. Side opposite 60 is s times the square root of 3, so that'd be 1/2 times the square root of 3, which is the square root of 3 over 2. That's going to go opposite 60. Okay, so at this point right here, our x is going to be 1/2. Our y is going to be square root of 3 over 2. But since we're in quadrant 4, our x stays positive, our y goes negative, so it's a negative square root of 3 over 2 for our y value. Okay, same thing, 45-degree angle. We're going to start here, we're going to go up 45 degrees. Okay, so it's a 45, 45, 90 right triangle. We're at 45, 45, 90. And this is going to be s squared root of 2. And these are both s's. So we know with the hypotenuse being 1, 1 is the same as s times the square root of 2. So we're going to solve for s. So we're going to divide both sides by the square root of 2. So 1 over square root of 2 is equal to s. But remember, when we did exponents, rational, we have to rationalize this. So we're going to multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. Okay? And what I get is I get the square root of 2 over 2 is equal to s. So this is the square root of 2 over 2. This is also the square root of 2 over 2. This point is the square root of 2 over 2, comma, square root of 2 over 2. Alright, last one. Okay, we're going to always start here. We're going to go negative, so we go clockwise, 30 degrees. Okay, so again, 1 is equal to 2s, divided by 2. So 1/2 is equal to s, so that's always opposite 30. This is 1/2. Okay, so opposite 60 is always s squared root of 3, so it's 1/2 times the square root of 3. So it's the square root of 3 over 2, which is here. So our order pair would be x, which is the square root of 3 over 2, comma y, which is 1/2. But because we're in quadrant 4, y is negative. So square root of 3 over 2, comma, negative 1/2. Alright, so this one says, what is this cosine, the negative square root of 3 over 2? Okay, that's the cosine is the x value. So it's asking, what is the x negative square root of 3 over 2? So let's start with the 30, 60, 90 triangle. We know that this is 1, and in those, x is 1/2. So that means this is 1/2. So if I do s square root of 3, that's 1/2 times the square root of 3. So that's square root of 3 over 2, which happens to be my x. Okay, so it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. It's basically, when are the x's negative? Well, here's 1. Here's the other. That's all that. Draw triangles. That would suffice that.